Welcome back, traders. We're going to break down today's price action, and then we're going to do a lightning round of stocks to watch heading into tomorrow's session. Our FinViz heat map looked pretty bleak on the open, and throughout this session we really got some nice strength in stocks from a variety of groups. We had strength in energy after a big sell-off within this group, and we also had some resurging strength in the semiconductors group. Our indices all ended up being advancers on the day. The S&P 500 went up 1.35%. Our TLT long bond ETF reconfirmed its strength and finished out the session up 1.42%. Almost all of these indices closed out towards the upper end of their day's range, and we have a continued crush in volatility. Our top performing sectors remain the solar group, which moved into our number 1 momentum slot, European financials, which are in our number 2 slot, and one of the only groups that remained in the red for today's session was KWeb, which is still in our number 3 momentum slot. High beta stocks led today's rally up 1.8%. And heading into Thanksgiving, the S&P 500 is looking pretty solid. We have this massive Giga Chad candle, and ever since then we've been consolidating in a very tight range. This 20-day simple moving average has had ample time to catch up to price. We are not quite there, but you can see this 10-day EMA has caught up, as well as this 5-day EMA, and we still have the 200-day simple moving average up above at about 4,062 on the S&P 500. That is about 2% upside from today's levels. Keep in mind, periodic pullbacks to that 5-day EMA are very common, so we could end up retracing to about 39.90 before eventually taking that next leg higher. On the hourly chart, we did just break out of our weekly value area, so let's see if we get that follow through into tomorrow's session. The Nasdaq bounced once again off of the top of this monthly value area. And look at this, our 20-day simple moving average has actually crossed above the 50, which is great. We're still trading off the highs from last week, but now we're above this 5-day EMA. And a lot of the Nasdaq stocks are actually looking pretty decent. Let's go through a few. Microsoft is consolidating in a tight range above this monthly value area. Apple also doing the same thing, consolidating above value and just below that 200-day simple moving average. Meta remains at the bottom of this monthly value area. We actually got some news that Mark Zuckerberg is actually going to be stepping down from his leadership position next year. And Netflix had an intraday pullback before forming a hammer candle and closing above this 20-day simple moving average. Even Tesla, which has been one of the worst stocks in the market since the market bottomed in October, this one finished out the day up 1.22%, and this allowed the ARRY Innovation ETF to remain afloat. ARRY undercut our monthly value area low before also forming a hammer candle and closing inside a value. And this all came on the day when Zoom, which is currently the ARRY Innovation ETF's largest holding, had a pretty large gap down, traded very weak throughout most of the session, and ended up closing out above this monthly point of control. Barring any big negative catalyst, it is often the case that the market just drifts higher during the holiday season. The Russell 2000 bounced off that 20-day simple moving average, and we are on the cusp of reclaiming the 200-day simple moving average. It's pretty wild what a day of price action can do. It can take a lot of individual stocks that are on the cusp and sort of teetering on the edge, and all of a sudden turn them into really good looking setups. Our Dow Jones also pushed out and formed a new swing high for this leg higher in the market. We still have this VPOC up above us at 34,502. Our 10-year Treasury futures still remain range bound, but it was nice to see that we put in a green candle and closed above this 5-day EMA. The dollar index was very cooperative for today's market. We had a pretty violent bounce higher over the past few trading sessions, but now it does appear that we are making yet another lower high, which is exactly what we want to see. Ideal conditions for a market rally are bonds bid, dollar lower, VIX lower. And that's exactly what we had for today's rally. After today's market rally, there's a lot of individual stocks that are looking good for tomorrow's session. ARRY is a name that we've been sharing with you on these market recap videos for the past couple days. This is a name that we currently have a long position in, and this one has been consolidating for about 2 weeks, and you can see around this $22 level sellers continued to emerge over the past couple trading sessions. Now today we were actually able to make it into that price range, and we did not see that same level of selling activity kick off. Conservative target for this stock, if we do end up getting that breakout, is right back by these summer swing highs around $23 and $24. Another solar name looking very strong, this is a name that we traded during the summer, is Enphase. This company also looks like it could be on the verge of a breakout. All it needs is the push. All it needs is a volume spike. So it's going to be important. I want to make sure for tomorrow's session that I have my alerts set, and I'm also running my high relative volume scanner. Interestingly enough, the dollar sold off, the bonds were bid, and energy stocks also looked really good. Oxy traded above this monthly value area and closed above that 20-day simple moving average. For me personally, I would rather wait until crude oil hits about $70 a barrel. That is the level at which the Biden administration has specifically stated that they are going to go in and support the oil market. But for all I know, these stocks could end up breaking out into the end of the week, the end of the year, and these could end up being great trades. BTU, this is a coal stock. This one broke out above this monthly value area, and it continues to knock on the door of this approximately $30 price level. PI also looks like it could be on the verge of a breakout. Academy Sports, this name that we covered on our weekend watch list, this name is also breaking out to new high ground. While the Asian equities did pull back today, FUTU showed some very nice relative strength, and we actually pushed past this high from November 15th. Arista Networks, another name that we currently have a long position in. This stock just continues to marinate sideways. I'm likely to take a target on this stock if we hit this Venom R1 pivot at $139.38. Beyond this list, there's plenty of other stocks that look pretty attractive heading into tomorrow's session. It's really just important to have a trading plan set up, know what your max risk is, and know where your target is for that trade to make sure that you're being compensated for the risk. Tomorrow is the last full trading session before Thanksgiving. And remember, there's a lot of portfolio managers and traders that are out of the office. The only curveball that we face for tomorrow's session is that we do have the Fed minutes that are coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern time. While I don't think the Fed is going to say anything that we haven't already heard, a lot of times these Fed minutes, they can cause some short-term volatility in the market, and they do have an uncanny ability to knock short-term traders out of their trades, stop them out, and really just cause frustrations. Heading into tomorrow, I feel pretty comfortable with the stocks that I already own. I'm likely not going to be pushing the envelope and buying into the strength here, but I'm definitely willing to let what I have ride. If you enjoyed this video, if this helped for your preparation for tomorrow's session, make sure to smash the like button, leave a comment on the video, and also subscribe to the channel. We'll see you all next time.